Chase, allow me to collect the right game here for us, and
Okay.
I will fix. I think I will fix this the right way. How are you doing tonight? We're gonna play Monster Train.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing my best Assassin's Creed cosplay tonight.
I was gonna say you're looking pretty hot, literally.
Thank you. I'm comfortable. It's
It
raining
got
outside,
pretty
so
intense over here at our house with some weather.
Yeah, we got some storms over here too.
We had
A lot of lightning, not a whole lot of rain. But
I think lightning hit like one of our neighbors' houses. There was a bunch of fire trucks. It was pretty fucking brutal.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad that you are.
Speaking of brutal,
hell, baby, or going to heaven. Which one's more brutal?
We're in hell and we're going to heaven.
We are. We're going to play Monster Train 2. It is November 17th. We're big fans of Monster Train. We were talking a little bit about we enjoy Monster Train 2. We just haven't put the time in quite like I thought we would for a game that we were so passionate about. But
Bobby is so scared after last week. He's like, I need a fucking winner.
That's awesome. I just need something.
I cannot physically or metaphorically roll the dice again.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Also, I was gonna say, like, I did not have the last. That's pretty telling here too. Like, I don't even have the Lazarus unlocked here. Is there a clan that you had just not seen at all? Like, Banished and
Bobby, I could not tell you. I did not end up purchasing this game. I don't remember anything about it.
Well, why don't we just start with the primary here, and we'll do a random. And sure. It's either we're gonna do this one. We only have two to choose from. All right. Yeah, I wanted something that would not have you hating me for the rest of the week, but I've been trying to do that for a long time. Also, we got the Life Mother's Pyre and Final Boss Sarah. Okay, we're good. And I wanted to go back to this because the Game Awards did announce all of their nominees today, and it got me thinking, like, we don't have a ton of these left because we're going to be off next week.
Yeah.
So it's just like, maybe we kind of dip our toe back into some stuff that could pop up in a category or on a list this Game of the Year. So did you happen to look at the nominees today?
I heard of some of the nominees. I was about to ask you, should we talk about that now? Because we're not talking about it this Wednesday, right?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I think that'd be. I wanted to discuss it with you. And this Thursday. I'm sorry. I got a little special thing planned for Chase. It's not quite a deep dive, but it's not quite a what you've been playing either. So, really quick, do you have any thoughts on? Both have multi-strike. One gains Valor permanently, and then this one here. Looks like it hits a little bit harder. What else do we get on this one?
Savior gains you 5 Valor.
Yeah.
And then gain armor equal to 1 times your Valor. So you gain 5 armor too.
Yeah.
We're
not going to be shifting this guy around a whole lot, I don't think, right?
Oh, that's true. I don't really like shift all that. I mean, maybe this clan's really good at shifting, but it's not usually the way I like playing.
Spells in one hand that cost less are reduced for the turn. To remove all buff effects on an enemy unit when we'll do Cleansing Water. That's a pretty good. I'll take that 50% chance to cleanse them. All right, we got the game award.
Bobby, how would you like me to talk about these nominees?
I'm going to let you go with God on that one. I'll let you go through this however you want to.
Okay. I mean, I generally don't like starting at the big one, but do
you want? I mean, we don't have to.
Here, so let's talk about the big ones first.
Okay.
No, fuck it. I don't care. Game of the year.
Game of the year.
I've played one of these video games. Bobby has played 3 of these video games. Well, kind of 4. Let's read it. Let's read them here.
Yeah, let's read.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which Bobby has played. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, which Bobby and I have both played. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which Bobby has played. Hades 2, which you played in early access, but you haven't played the actual 1.0 release, correct?
Correct. I've not played 1.0, but I've played early access.
Okay. Hollow Knight Silksong, which neither of us have played, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which neither of us have played. Correct? Or did you play? You played Kingdom Come.
Oh, I've played a lot of Kingdom Come.
Okay. I couldn't remember if that was the series that you play a lot or one that you don't play at all. There's so many games that feel like they're in that zone.
But I did play this one.
I get that confused with the chivalries or the
that's fair
Mordaus or whatever. There's so many of those kinds of games.
That's
but no,
totally
now
fair.
I'm remembering you talking about it quite a bit. So you played all of these, but Silksong in one form or fashion.
That is correct.
I imagine you're pretty happy with this list.
I am. The list is super strong. A lot of things that stood out to me in a big way. I don't particularly. I'm a little surprised about the omission of Ghost of Yote in that list, considering how many other categories it shows up in. But they only have spots for 6, and I gotta respect their decision there, I guess.
Are you surprised that Blueprints does not show up in this list?
On Game of the Year, 100%. 100%.
You're fine with it not being in there, or?
I'm fine personally. I'm fine with it not being on that list for me. But I'm very surprised given the conversation and the zeitgeist that happened around that game, and knowing how they pull in their judges for Game of the Year. I'm very surprised that it's not on there.
Do you feel like the Game Awards, only has so many slots for indie games? Like, especially when it comes to Game of the Year, because you've got 6 games here. 4 of them are bigger games, and 2 of them are more traditional indie games. Like, we can make arguments about what Clair Obscur counts as or what Kingdom Come Deliverance counts as, but I would say those are bigger full releases, whereas something like Hades 2 or Hollow Knight Silksong feel more specifically like indie games.
Yeah, I by the books, I agree with you. Like, those are your indie, like, they don't look the part. Like, I think Clair Obscur feels like a AAA game in a lot of ways. So totally. Like,
yeah,
it's weird for me to say like, oh, that's the best indie game, but like, I recognize it was made by a very small team. So like, in the spirit of indie, like, I get it, but I also think that like, it doesn't really look that way. Is it that? So
sure. Or I mean, even if you count Clair Obscur as an indie game here, that makes it 3 and 3 on the list, and I could see. I don't know how the nominating process goes here exactly. I don't fully trust Jeff Keighley in any of this shit.
Yeah.
But I could see somebody like Jeff Keighley or like the group that helps to make this, put on this award show, going like, guys, we can't have more indie style games than we have AAA games on here.
Absolutely.
At the very most, it can be half and half. But we can't fit a Blueprints on here because we'd have to knock off a Kingdom Come, or we'd have to knock off a Death Stranding 2, and I'm certainly not going to do that to my baby boy Kojima.
Dude, I think that there's already a lot of, like, Shroud, for example. You know who Shroud is, right? The streamer.
Only kind of. Yes, yeah. I know he is a streamer.
But I think that like that in itself speaks a lot of volumes, that like you recognize that name. Even how little you pay attention to that, like, that name. He's been basically stating like nobody should vote for that game because like the shooters he likes is not there. And so I think that like Clair Obscur, a lot of people are already like, what the fuck? But a lot of people, I mean, there's a broader conversation.
A lot of people like that game. That game got pretty broad support from what I remember.
It was very well regarded and very well loved. I will say that much. But I do feel there's been some people, much like whenever there is an indie game, they're like, what do you mean this is on there? Like last year, what was the big indie game that people were like, wait, what's this game and why is it on the Game of the Year list?
Great question. I do not remember.
I
can look it up.
But
Game Awards 2024.
Shift, take 30 damage, can be.
It was Astrobot, Black with Wukong, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Balatro.
Balatro, that's the one. Last year, everybody.
Yeah, but Balatro was a fucking phenomenon.
No, I'm just saying that people were like, "Why is it nom?" It's like, how can a card game be Game of the Year? It's kind of what they were saying.
I guess so. As a person who played Metaphor ReFantazio and likes that game, I don't see why that was nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Anyway, it could just be the circles that I'm in, or the podcasts that I listen to, or the people I trust.
Mm-hmm.
Blueprints was such a fucking phenomenon to all those people, and I know how we personally treated it. Like, we got really hot on it for a while, and then cooled on it relatively significantly. But that still felt like that game was such a huge part of this year. It feels weird not having it as part of a Game of the Year nominee.
No, I agree with you. Like, I'm surprised, but I think that point in time, and this is where my mind goes with it. Like, would you get rid of Hades at that point in time?
That's not fair, because I haven't played Hades 2.
Right.
Like, I would personally, but if you're asking my personal list, I don't think any of these games, save maybe Death Stranding 2, and even then probably not, would make my top 6 games of this year. So, you can't ask me about that, because I don't feel like I'm represented in this list at all.
Sure. I think that's fair.
Which is wild, and especially with how much I loved Hades 1. It is weird, but we had this conversation before we started recording. We've had this conversation on the podcast before about Hades 2 and indie game sequels and how tough it is to get interested for games like those. Well, we got some more categories, and I'm sure we'll have more discussion about something like that when the actual Game Awards happen and we do our reaction stuff to it. If we do that, man, who knows? Maybe that show is such a train wreck this year that we just
who knows?
Best art direction, we've got Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silksong. I think those all seem like artistic games that I completely understand being on that list.
I don't think that like touches on like the overall style. They still kind of break those things out differently.
Yeah. Yeah, because they also have audio design in here as well, so they definitely break those two up. I'm trying to go through my list of games that I've played and seeing like, oh god, it's crazy that you wouldn't put that on art direction. But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. That seems fine. Like, again, I don't think I really have all that much interest in any of those games from an artistic standpoint, but I could think of one game I might put on that list over some of these other ones, but I don't know. That seems fine by me. Audio design is Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Silent Hill F. Okay.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, why not? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I still wish that there would be. I get for these bigger categories like art direction or art direction is easy because just look at it. Audio design's a little harder to point to and go, well, that's why that game got nominated for best audio design. It's just a little bit more, pardon the pun here, but it's a bit more obscure on figuring out what actually goes into that. I've definitely banged this drum for many years, but the accessibility award for the Game Awards, it's like, tell me the accessibility that they added. Why?
Well, can you do me a favor? Can you go if you go to that on there, go to that section, and there's this like a very small font beneath it. It's like, click to learn more about the nominations. Does it do that? Because
do they have that now?
Well, it didn't work it didn't work when I was on my phone. So I was going to talk to you about this because we bitched about this last year that they don't tell you. So I wonder if Jeff finally tuned in and heard what to do here.
Could be. I was on Reddit, so I can look. I can go into a vote now. View all the categories. Let's go to. Is best accessibility even on this list? Innovation and accessibility. There we go. Learn about the nominees. Yes, it seems like this has it.
Okay, what
This
are
is
they?
a terrible way to show this, but
What are they? What are they doing?
it is an extremely long, mostly unbroken paragraph of text about each game, with no images that show any of this stuff. But at least it is like pretty big. So why don't I read one of these for you and just give you an idea? What would you like to hear about, Bobby? We have Atomfall, we have Doom: The Dark Ages, we have
I want to hear about
Assassin's Creed
Atomfall.
Shadows. Okay, Atomfall. Atomfall is Rebellion's most accessible game to date, built with accessibility in mind to make sure as many people as possible could access the core game experiences. Options include configurable text contrast and size, one of the only games to scale up to 52 pixels at 1080p, high contrast mode for gameplay, and optional audio cues for players with low vision, including a highly customizable audio-based FPS aiming system. By design, the game is colorblind, accessible by default, uses unique and informative audio cues, and a welcoming range of players, and welcomes a range of players through playstyle presets and customization. There's a strong focus on motor accessibility with optional automation for movement, traversal, firing, and reloading, highly configurable melee and aim assist, and detailed remapping, allowing up to 4 keys per action and choice for whether each should be a tap versus a short hold. Other considerations include a range of motion sickness mitigation, HUD nav assistance, detailed color customization, configurable subtitles with direction arrows, a setting to choose whether menus should pause gameplay, and more, informed by lived experience expertise from consultants and charities that worked with the team to make Atomfall more accessible. Read atomfall.com/accessibility for more. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's extremely long.
Yeah.
And also, this text is very clearly provided by the developer themselves and not made by the Game Awards. And I can tell that because it uses British English. Like customizable is spelled with an S.
Fair.
Color is spelled with a U. So that's fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's perfectly fine to get information from the developer. But I also think the Game Awards, as an independent organization here that is giving the awards, should synthesize that information in a much more a much faster, more readable way for an audience who's potentially voting for it, and two, not just take what a developer or a publisher says at face value. I would like if you're going to nominate these games,
it should come from the people.
Like, do some fucking investigative journalism to say why you think these games should be nominated here. Totally. Not just here's what the game developers said they did. Which again, I don't think anybody's lying here about the options that they have in here. But it does feel weird to just, it feels like a step in the right direction. You got information now. It's not just a black box where I have no idea what accessibility you have in here. But now I would like them to take the next step forward and go, this is why we thought this game should be nominated, and now you leave it up to players to decide, whether they agree with that or not. But yeah,
concur.
the rest of these go down in just a big paragraph list, which is fine. Like, I just wish there was some images that showed off, here's the here's like the 3 different colorblind modes that we have in here, or here's the option that shows short holds versus taps on the
100%.
I don't know. Some of that stuff's harder to show, but I think that's important work, especially when you're showing like subtitles. Like, subtitles can be done so poorly that I would like visual examples to show. These are the ones that do it right. They put like the darkened box behind, so you have background that the text goes on top of. The text is high contrast, like all those kinds of things. I think that stuff's really important, and you don't see those options as much. Anyway, back to our thing here. Best game direction. I always hate this category as well, because I think last year it just went to the same game twice. Game of the Year and Best Game Direction. and sometimes it feels like for the Oscars, it's like best director versus best picture,
100%.
where it's like, okay, you give one to one and you give one to the other, so you can kind of award two things. I generally don't see the difference between game direction and best game of the year, but whatever. But the Game Awards feels differently apparently, because they have Clair Obscur, Death Stranding, and Hades 2, but then they also have Ghost of Yotei and Split Fiction. So what makes those games for best game direction? So what makes those better game direction but not worthy of being game of the year? Your guess is as good as mine. I wish there'd be some explanation on that as well.
Yeah, like what the hell does that mean? Like, how do they get to that conclusion? And also, like, I think, didn't they have best indie game as Clair Obscur? So if that was game of the year,
Probably.
would that also not win best indie game, or do they have a different set of rules that they go to?
Yeah.
That's the one that kind of tripped me up today. I was just like, well, wait a second.
Trying to reload here and see if they have any. God, this website's just shattering as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just being hit that hard or if it's just built that poorly.
It could be. Okay, best game direction says awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design, or game direction and design. That doesn't tell me anything. Game of the year says recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Okay.
Yeah. They just need to do like a video of like, hey, we're going to walk you through how we get to these things. This is what we're looking for. I would
love that.
Like, hey.
But I don't think Jeff wants to show a peek behind the curtain like that.
No, most certainly not. Most certainly not. But I do feel it's very...
Anyway.
Go ahead.
I was going to move on. Anyway, I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I about the nominees so far, or what I'm about to say about what Jeff's doing here.
Like, finish your thought. Yeah.
Yeah, my thought would be they don't want to peel the curtain back, but at this point, they don't make it critically clear what you're voting for, and they're using user feedback where people are maybe going into it with the assumption of what this category means to them, while that might not be the criteria or foundation that they set for their votes. And I think when we look at things objectively, we need to be able to be informed enough to know, like, hey, I understand why this game that I care about, that I think is the game of the year, might lose this category in this area. And it doesn't mean that that game is necessarily better than the game that you love. It means that they executed this area of this game in these parameters to achieve that win. And I don't think that people get that. Like, they certainly don't. Like, we talked, I think, the most about the games for impact. Like, is it just a game that made you cry? Is it a game that touches on a tough topic that doesn't typically meet the standards there? Like, what is the criteria? In the same way of an accessibility, well, teach me what it does. As an able-bodied person, I don't have to engage with that shit too often. So I want to understand what this did for people to have a similar experience that I had playing this game. Make me understand it that way.
Yeah, I'm with you. It is when you have... I think in theory, this system makes a lot of sense in that you have a team of game reviewers and game personalities. You have quote unquote experts who help you develop the nominee list. And then once you get the nominees, you put it all up to a public vote. I understand the reasoning for something like that. It probably makes the most sense from a engagement standpoint, that we're going to give the audience the option, or the audience gets the final vote, but we're at least going to curate the options they get. I can understand why that probably works best for Jeff Keighley. Does that get you the most deserving games to win each time? Almost assuredly not, because as you kind of point out, when you put it up to a public vote, it literally is a popularity contest. And sometimes people are just voting because it's the game they like, not because the specific feature is the best part, like you said, like you mentioned. So I'm with you. I don't think this is the best way of doing this. But also, if we're gonna sit here and talk about how flawed the Game Awards are,
we have bigger problems. We got some issues.
We would need a lot more than an hour to discuss it.
You're right.
Yeah,
is there? I know that you don't care about the Game of the Year stuff as much as I do, based off of like who's in there. But do you have any game that you feel should be there more?
That's a good question. I don't know. The answer is probably no, because all of the games I like, I think I would admit, are not necessarily Game of the Year material.
Sure.
Like, we're not putting Dynasty Warriors Origins as a Game of the Year nominee. I understand that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I like Dynasty Warriors Origins. We're not putting Despalote in the Game of the Year discussion. Maybe I have not looked at the rest of these, so it's very possible that it's on like a Best Indie Game or a Game for Impact or something like that, and maybe it does get represented in some way. But I love Despalote. That game does not get Game of the Year honors.
It got nominated.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But that's not a game that's going to be nominated for Game of the Year.
No, it was only games with impact is what it got. That's the only place.
Sure, that makes sense. I think Blueprints is probably the one that I enjoyed, that I'm surprised didn't make a bigger splash at the Game Awards here. But you know how much I love Ball Pit. I really enjoyed Sword of the Sea, and to not really see those games like show up in the big awards.
Yeah.
For me it's disappointing. But
I thought
also,
for sure
I know
Blueprints would be there.
I totally thought Blueprints would be there.
Like, I thought that was honestly a lock-in.
Here's something fun. Best performance. Is it the Clair Obscura, the Clair Obscura, or the other three?
It was oh my gosh, why can't I think of her name right now? From Clair Obscura.
Jennifer English.
She was also Shadowheart and Baldur's Gate 3. She's been in a ton of shit, but she's very, very good. And
I believe that they're all good. It's just I feel like, especially for nominations, I would want to see more representation from the games. It feels weird when you have half the nominees are all from a single game, and they might be the three best performances there, but
they're very good.
they're very good, but like, tell me the best performance of that game, and then that goes up against the rest. It's the same way like when back in the day where they had best Xbox game, best PlayStation game, best Nintendo game, and then your Game of the Year nominees had those three games and then a bunch of other ones. And I'm like, well, obviously those other ones aren't going to win it because, and like best PC game or whatever, but like those other ones aren't going to win it because they didn't win their fucking category. Like, how does a game not win its best Xbox category but then win Game of the Year? Like, that can't happen. So I get that you want to nominate and you want to award the people who've done the best job. But when you have three people from the same game on there, I feel like it's icing out a bunch of other.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. Like, there should be, however you want to look at it, others on there. We know that there's some really strong performances in Clair Obscura. They're all different enough, and I think that they all. It's like, you see a lot of nominees from a similar movie, right? Like, I'm not saying that that's right either.
I don't like it there either, but I understand that we want to celebrate individuals who do great work, and I think that's completely fair that you want to give them their flowers.
Yeah.
But also, just as a person who wants to see award shows that celebrate the gamut of games, I think Clair Obscura, again, I haven't played it. I know you love it quite a bit, and you love a lot of things about it, so I'm sure it deserves all the places that it's getting here. But for me, it just feels like if Clair Obscura is in every category, then why do we have so many categories? Like,
well, I mean, I think that I truly do feel like that is speaking volumes to what that game is. That's how I look at it. Like, that game does so well at those areas that I just find it justified to be in so much. The one that trips me up is the indie game one, because, you know, like Dave the Diver was best indie with far more people. You know, I go back and forth.
And I think they should. I think the Game Awards should also do a better job of telling us what they count as an indie game.
I agree with that for sure.
Let me try to open up what they have here. Sometimes the site works and sometimes it doesn't. Here we go. Best independent game for outstanding creative and a technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system.
Well, what's that? What does that even mean anymore?
I don't know. Does that mean without a publisher? Because then Dave the Diver doesn't go in there.
Correct.
But I don't know. I don't know what Jeff means. It's kind of a I know it when I see it thing, but I think Clair Obscur, as you pointed out, fails the I know it when I see it, because that doesn't look like an indie game.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a shitty thing to say, but I think it's their, like, the indie spirit for sure comes out in how good the story is, and I feel like a lot more indie games, more than AAA, have hit the stuck the landing there when it comes to storytelling. But
yeah.
Anyway,
and also to my earlier point, I feel like it's really unfair to a bunch of other cool indie games that they just get buried by Clair Obscur, which, you know, if that's nominated for Game of the Year, then all these other indie games outside of Hades 2, I guess, and Silksong, sure, like everything else could get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, Silksong is arguably like one of the most anticipated games of how many years now, and Hades is following up what might be like one of the biggest indie darlings of all time. Like, sure, those two don't even feel like they're of the same ilk anymore. Like those feel like behemoths in their own right. Like,
it's extremely possible that Clair Obscur wins nothing this time, because Silksong just runs over everybody. That's an extremely possible
Hades 2 could do the same thing. Hades 2 could come in and sweep everything. Like,
it could.
It's crazy to think about. But also, can you do me a favor? Is there anything from Microsoft in the Game of the Year conversation? I think we're about to lose, by the way.
That's fine. I'm gonna try to find an Xbox game anywhere in these nominations here.
I'm talking like Xbox Studios.
Yep, I know what you mean. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Troy Baker for Best Performance.
Okay.
That's one.
I don't credit Microsoft for that as much as I credit Troy Baker.
Best Action Adventure Game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I would. Okay. And you know what?
That's a legitimate one. There you go.
Yeah.
Still looking. The Outer Worlds 2 for Best RPG.
So they had two things, correct?
I'm still going down the list, but yeah, that's what it seems like so far.
Okay.
Best Adaptation, a Minecraft movie. They own Minecraft. I don't think that really counts, but
I don't think that counts, but yes.
Best what? Fucking bullshit. Why is there? I know why there is, but why is there a best debut indie game and a best indie game? That feels.
Yes.
I don't know. South of Midnight for Games for Impact. That's another Microsoft.
That's fair.
And then, yeah, I don't think even any of these most anticipated games are Microsoft properties. So yeah, that's it. That's it, friend.
Hey, which one of these should I get as my starting artifact? Jack Strips or the Amat Tome?
Oh, I kind of like that tome. That sounds fun.
Okay. I also feel like that's kind of saying something, man. Like if you think about all the studios and power, and like if you think about what Microsoft's been swinging at, like it's kind of telling that they don't have a bigger presence at this level, and I feel like that's been going on for a while now for them.
Do you think that is reviewers who are? Do you think that is any sort of backlash from BDS stuff that we've been talking about, or is it because Xbox just had a really bad year?
There's a few things I think. I think that any game that has anything to do with AI is not going to be anywhere near this list right now for a myriad of reasons. I think
Arc Raiders is in best multiplayer.
I think that is the one category that you can see that. Like if you go, I feel that game is loved enough that it could have been in other places, and I think that it's not because of the conversation happening on that topic.
That could be.
Do I think the BDS stuff? Absolutely. I think that the same way Keighley doesn't want to touch what Microsoft has done with layoffs because he hasn't really addressed that in a good perspective yet. And I think anything that if he gave a platform to or a nomination to, that he would have to deal with negative PR, because any sniff of negative PR for him is pulling out what these things are for, which is to show trailers that people can pay them money to play on. That's it. And so,
sorry, Avowed is also under Best RPG. That's another Microsoft. That's another Obsidian, right?
That is Obsidian. So I think that you would be hell bent to find anything remotely close to a controversial topic there.
Maybe. I think Jeff Keighley. I think Jeff Keighley would be down with AI. I think he would be okay with it. I think maybe the people who work with him to nominate games, maybe they're not okay with it, and maybe that's where some of this comes from. But I don't know if I just have such a low opinion of Jeff Keighley these days, or if I truly think this. But I feel like Jeff Keighley would be totally fine with AI these days.
I don't think that matters here. Because whether he is or not, it comes down to
it's his damn show.
It is his damn show. But think about what he cares about. He wants to get actors. He wants to get big money budget. Like, he is running this show for those reasons. And if he gives anything where people can say boycott the Game Awards because they support generative AI, they're putting creators out of work. Like, if any of that shit came out, it's game over for him. Like, that's the thing that he is more concerned about. He's not concerned about the people who are not getting recognition or anybody who's getting the financial support for their art and things of that nature.
You're saying it's only how it would affect his bottom line.
100. He wants this to be the most PR friendly thing that he can go and say, every year we increase our viewership by this %. We want you to, if you want to show your thing to the world, this is how many eyes will look at it, and this is what it'll cost you. Is it worth that? Like, I don't, like, you'll get more wish lists on Steam. Like, what is the benefit for it? And he wants to attract all of that. And if developers are like, you support people, like, fuck you, like, we're not doing that.
I mean, you're right, but at the same time, I think, maybe this is just from me working in advertising and seeing how it shows up in my line of work. But I think there's enough people who are either excited about AI or at least tolerant of it in a way that I think it would be not welcomed exactly, but I think it would be more accepted these days in the Game Awards. And that, yes, gaming certainly has more vocal people against the use of AI, it also has some really vocal proponents, and those people have a lot of money, and they are willing to give that money to somebody like Jeff Keighley to give them some good press.
I don't disagree with you. It is one of the more polarizing things that I've seen happen with technology in my lifetime. And the thing is, dude, like I don't think it's going away. Like that's the thing. Like I believe
the only way it goes away is the companies dry up, like lose all their money and go bankrupt, and those services aren't available anymore. But I don't necessarily see that happening. I mean, I think some of these companies are going to go bankrupt because there's so much investment on here, and none of them are making any money. But you're right. I imagine some sort of tools continue to live on in some way, and we will never truly be rid of this, as much as I despise it, and many other people despise it.
Yeah, I don't think that. My point is that the technology's here. Who makes it and what companies have it? Like AI is here. Like whatever, if we rebrand it or change names on it or whatever that looks like, I don't think it's going away.
But AI is not a book. If the publisher of a book goes bust, the book is still there. The author, the publisher of AI, runs servers that run the software. So if that company goes under, those servers no longer run the software anymore. That's how it could go away.
I don't disagree with you, but I think that what's happened is so many companies have their own branded AI now, that like the ones that are populating it, you got like 3 big players. You've got, of course, Google, who has a fuck ton of money to keep those servers on because they're the same servers they're using for all their other services they offer. And then you've got Claude, which is I can't remember the parent company.
That's Google. Claude is Google.
Claude, Gemini is Google. Claude is
Claude, I think, is also Google.
It's Gemini. No, Claude and Gemini are at odds with one another. Like,
are they?
Yeah, OpenAI, Claude, and Gemini are like the 3 big players in it. And I think Claude is
Anthropic.
Claude is Anthropic, right? Or
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who Anthropic is. Okay. Yeah, but you got OpenAI, you got Microsoft, you got Google, you have a couple other places that are doing.
My point is that like I don't think that's going away, and Grok. I don't know if this was true or not, but I saw some stuff online today that they found code in the new COD that it had like generative AI to help like with the story of that. Like apparently that thing is just an absolute mess of a video game, which shock to nobody, but. Yeah. I heard that actually like they used AI to write it.
Could be.
Who knows?
That sounds like a thing that might happen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it has to become so poisonous from both a monetary and a audience, like. PR standpoint for.
Do you think there'll ever be
to ditch that?
Like best use of AI at one of these things?
No, because I don't think they draw attention to it like that. I think the perniciousness of AI is that it's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to tell. And right now we are still mostly in a position where we can. It has gotten harder and harder to identify AI, but I think we're still in a position right now where you can, or at least you can with some guided assistance, where somebody has to point out, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, look at the hand, or oh, look how that moved there. Like you can still kind of see it, but yes, there is going to get to a point where you won't really be able to tell one way or the other, and I think that's the really scary part.
Oh, agreed.
Because then you could just have a company straight up lie to you, and I think they would rather lie to you than than try to celebrate how much they pulled the wool over your eyes. So that's why I don't think there would ever be a best use of AI in games category for something like this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know we got on a tangent there, but I think
I also don't think the other categories here are all that interesting.
Yeah, and I think the other thing of it too is like, you know, is there any big surprises this year? Like, let's talk a little bit more about like what do you think we won't see and what do you think we will see at the Game Awards this year? Like, I'll start. I think that there's a possibility, given what Steam has shown off, that there could be something from Microsoft at the Game Awards that they tease their next hardware. If it's rumored to be a hybrid, and I think that they're looking for anything that they can signal right now that like they've got a plan, I have a feeling that they'll show something off this year.
I think it's still too early for hardware. And I also don't think people are all that excited about hardware. Steam is exciting because it's different, but we're obviously not going to see new Nintendo hardware. We just have the Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think Sony has signaled enough that's saying, hey, we're still in the middle of PS5. We're not going to talk about new hardware right now. And while Microsoft, yes, I think they're in a position where they need some new press.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something to show. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they show something like that off, but I just don't think there's an appetite from people for that right now.
I think that they're trying to compete with Steam at this point from like a distribution standpoint.
Sure, they're losing, but they're trying.
They're going to continue to 100%.
Yeah.
Trample with that. Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't really know what to expect there. Ooh, regen.
I don't know if I have any special idea of what they're going to show. I mean, I probably would have said at one point that maybe we see a trailer for Elder Scrolls 6, but Todd Howard just kind of came out, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, and said, oh, I kind of just want to talk about it when it's done.
Yeah.
So I don't expect that to be shown anymore.
I think that thing's way, way close to being done. Not done, I'm sorry, but like not done. I'm sorry, not done, but like not like done in the sense that they're not talking about it. Like at this point, I think that they're going to chase more Fallout remasters. I think that they're going to. The only reason you don't have Elder Scrolls 6 by this point is that they've been trying to fix Starfield, and they won't let that one die for some strange reason.
Ooh, yeah, you got to let the dream die, guys.
Like, just fucking let it go. Like, that thing is a bummer. But I mean, unless they're willing to upgrade how they make video games, then I don't see why they need to rush to make Elder Scrolls right now. Like, people.
Well, the only reason they'd rush is because Microsoft needs the money, and Microsoft doesn't need the money, but Xbox might need the money to continue justifying some of these things. So in that sense, I could see them saying, it'd be great to have Elder Scrolls out here. That would sell a fuck ton of units, and we could use that press.
They're going to put out a remaster of 3, and they're going to put out a remaster of New Vegas. And
sure, I mean, those aren't going to get the numbers that Elder Scrolls 6 would get, but they would both do well. You know what I'd like to see, which we won't see, but what I would like to see, probably because I am currently playing the fucking video game right now. Let's check in on that KOTOR remake. Like, where we really went dark on that one, didn't we?
Yeah, what is going on there?
Apparently, it is still in development, and nobody said shit. So,
well, I thought that was at risk a couple years ago, like a year or two ago, because the studio was Embraced. They got Embracered, and then Embracer started shedding skin. And I thought for sure that they were like, this thing's kind of indefinite on what we're doing with it, because the last I heard on that, they were going to make it more of like it would play more like God of War 2018 versus.
I've heard it would be more actiony. Yes.
Yeah.
But the last thing I saw was like some post from a handful of months ago that said, "Yes, it is still in development. No, we have nothing more to share." So, yeah,
yes, have
I don't
some.
know. Yeah, I guess so. But like the Game Awards is a place where you make an announcement like that, especially if you've been dark for a while. Like this is a great opportunity to get eyes on something that you've been working on. So maybe it won't be this year, maybe it'll be next year, maybe it'll be never. Who knows? But I think this is an opportunity that if that game is still in active development and is, not somewhere near done or somewhere in the realm of close to done, this would be an opportunity to talk about a game like that.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Knowing that, I'm going to make a big statement here. I feel like you have been relatively cold on Nintendo this year.
Sure.
What is it going to take for that temperature to rise in 2026 for you?
Well, we know there's a new Fire Emblem game coming. That'll
Correct.
help. I would like to see more of that video game. I don't think the initial trailer. I think the idea of the initial trailer excited me more than what I actually saw. Like knowing that it's still in the Three Houses timeline and will deal with some of those things is really interesting to me.
Sure.
I did not see a bunch of characters that got me excited to be able to play with them in the same way that I've, had characters I was really excited about to play with in Three Houses or Engage or any of those things. So that game being really good is basically at the top of the list. That's the important one. Outside of that, I don't know, man. I don't think there's a Pokemon announcement they could make right now that would excite me all that much.
I've been pretty high on Nintendo, and a lot of the previews came out because I think it's already like 2 weeks from now is the Metroid game. I'm pretty sure that's like very early December. But yeah. I feel I've had a lot of games that have like impacted me in a big way from Nintendo this year. There's been a lot of rumors pointing towards a Ocarina of Time remake from them coming, and I would be through the roof, as much of the people who like video games would be, I guess, next year. But I'm really curious to see what they do with Mario on this new hardware, and I'm also really curious to see like how much the movie maybe has crept in on what Mario is these days. So we'll see.
Do you think they would release an Ocarina of Time remake alongside the movie?
The movie, 100%.
That, yeah.
Like, did you see the 3 images that got released today?
Oh yeah. Oh, those images.
Dude, that's really
they look
that's a cool thing.
They look like people. They look like people.
Don't downplay that. That's a fun look. That's a cool thing. Like, I think people are
fine. I don't know. Looks like cosplay photos to me, but it's fine.
Oh my god.
I'm looking at Nintendo 2026 games here. We've got Mario Tennis Fever in February.
Do you care about that?
Nintendo's not really. I didn't play the last one. They're no longer RPGs, so yeah. I don't care about them as much. I put it on a Game Boy Advance and make it an RPG, and then we'll talk. But yeah, we've got the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Brothers Wonder with some extra bullshit in there. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I've liked Yoshi games in the past, but I also haven't played like the last 3 Yoshi games they've made. So the new Tomodachi Life, that could be silly and fun, but I probably
what was that game I sent you?
Getting it.
The one that looks like an old school Pokemon game.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but that did look cool.
That's a Switch exclusive, right?
Mark that down. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, you're right. Pocopia, which is the Ditto.
I'll be
game.
picking that one up. Sarah's very excited for that one, and I'll anytime I can.
I think she'd be excited for.
Yeah, if there's a way to play that with her, I'll do. Oh well, there's all the Animal Crossing new shit next spring too.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's that Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave. Like that's the make or break for me. Even though I would very much prefer they kind of just remake another old game in the same style as Shadows of Valentia, which,
yeah,
god damn, one of my favorite games of all time. Just please give that treatment to more Fire Emblem games that we never got official copies of in the West. That'd be great.
Well, Chase, we had a fun. I did pretty good on the second run. Like that the mushroom, the fun guys are the best. They're the best in Monster Train 2.
Well, they are fun.
They are fun. We played passively some Monster Train 2 tonight, and we talked about the nominees from the Game Awards because we're not going to cover it this week because I got a special episode of the Casual Hour on Thursday planned for Chase. Chase, I am going to ask you some questions that night, but nothing that you need to prepare for.
Okay.
You as a voyager in this journey of life will be able to speak to all the things we're going to talk about on Thursday night.
Okay.
But
sounds ominous.
Yes. But this week we have a lot of fun going on. We played Monster Train 2 tonight. We will have a What You've Been Playing kind of on Thursday night. And then I hope to get back to Arc Raiders. I did play it on Friday, just not on stream. We had a guest on the show who I think was not super comfortable with being online that night. So I wanted to hang out with them. I'm like, all right, cool. We don't worry about that. We'll just play the game. And still continue to have fun. But this week, I'm going to try my best to play that with you all. And Chase, if you wanted to tell the fine folks about what they can do in between all the nonsense we do every week, what would that look like?
Well, I've got a new episode of Chase K Plays Go Play a Star Wars, where I'm playing through Star Wars Knights of the Republic on my my YouTube channel there. So go check out that. We are finally off of Taurus, and we are on to Dantooine. We became a Jedi. Had a whole montage about how we became a Jedi.
Woo,
so that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What color is your lightsaber?
It is green. I went with consular this time, so I'm nice. I'm a magic force boy.
I like it.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. Go check that out. Pilot program is still a little bit on hiatus right now, while Pierce is quite busy. But I look forward to recording
plenty of backlog
Friday Night Lights. There's quite a few. Yeah. There's a lot. And
go find a show you know about.
I already know what our next couple episodes are going to be about, and I'm looking forward to doing those episodes. But just got to wait for Pierce's schedule to open back up. But we'll get back in on that soon. And then if you're one of those fucking sickos out there who likes Magic the Gathering, and you only like playing with common cards in the best format Magic's got called Pauper, I've started a new YouTube channel, Common Knowledge MTG, where I go through and I rate common cards randomly and just take a look at them and talk about decks that they could go in and decks that I have, decks that my friends have. It's a lot of fun. And also recently, I have done something very stupid, which is I rated all of the common cards that are coming out of the new Avatar: The Last Airbender set. Very stupid. Yeah, both the regular ones and the ones for Eternal formats that are not standard legal, but they will work in Pauper. So I rated like 149 cards in 2.5 hours. So if you want to watch a man slowly lose his mind one card at a time, that's a thing you could go and watch. So go to Common Knowledge MTG and watch stuff. I put up an episode every weekday. So go look at that shit, I guess.
I'll come over and do the Uncommon Knowledge episode where I don't know anything and just tell you what I think.
Uncommons would be the next. Those would be the silver cards.
See, I've already winning.
I only do the... Okay.
All right, we'll be back on Thursday with a super secret episode of the Casual Hour. We will see you all then. Take